media. We're not usually on social media on Saturdays, but today we're on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube. So if you want to catch this program either now or thereafter, you can go to the YouTube or Facebook Live. And I'm not surprised Lamide did what he did. My guest, Captain Blade, has a cult following around here, and I believe all over the country. I'm always proud to have him here. I hold him in great awe and respect his views on security. May I say what I said on Friday for those who didn't listen in, that you might be wondering, I like to give explanations to everything. You might be wondering, why do you always bring Captain Blade, Captain Blade, Captain Blade? There is a hint of education in the things that I do, enlightenment. And therefore, if I grab a resource person and I'm sure that he knows his onions, I'm going to milk him to death. I don't want him to die. So anytime you'll be surprised that even sometimes in my own program, when you see me coming here and I'm gassing, the security network of this country is a lie. I've consulted him. So that's why, and I have no apologies for that. Captain, you're welcome.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Too many things to talk about because we haven't spoken for a while.
Indeed.
Where are you on Tuesday?
Coming Tuesday.
Yes.
Or
Just in case we don't finish this, can we continue on Tuesday, at least by phone?
Well,
just
inshallah.
Inshallah, good. And happy, how do you greet?
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Yes, Ramadan
Let me clean my mouth so you don't see the breadcrumbs. And to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak. Right, let's get down to business straight away. We are going to open up our lines 0700 993 993 993. It's 1 minute per person. The lines are already buzzing, so we can't take too much of. Don't bother to greet me. Just mention your name and move on. Don't bother to say that I want to say. Just say it so that you can save time and you can compact your thoughts. We'll be sticking to time. And the other number will be 01465 7190. And I'll also be taking tweets. You can tweet at us, but please tag at Jimi Disu so that I can tag my own Twitter handle at Jimi Disu. Jimi Disu is one word, lowercase, so that I can pick it up on my device here. Okay, so let's shoot. Cappy, one of the reasons why you're here is the sudden situation we find ourselves security-wise in this country. It is frightening. It is mind-boggling. It is, I don't know, between us and the Ukrainians, I don't know who will be under panic the more. In all honesty, because at least for the Ukrainians, they know what they are facing as it is. They are in it. We can see it coming. We don't pray that Nigeria ever gets to that point. But in doing so, one of the things we need to do is to enlighten ourselves and get ourselves ready, brace up like you're going through turbulence, and also use the opportunity to advise those in government. The incident that happened in Kaduna, if we combine the two, the airport incident with the train incident and the road incident, what are the indicators? What does that tell us is go? There's no point going down historical lane. I think you and I have done enough of that. To be fair to you, I was surprised that you agreed to talk to me because remember last time I said you're tired of telling these people. And so we know how we got there, but what are the indicators? What does it tell us? As soon as it happened, what came to your mind?
When the incidents in Kaduna happened, first the airport, then on the same day a bomb exploded in Kaduna.
Yes.
At Hayin Amani. And then after that, we had the other incidents.
The train.
The moment all of this started unfolding, I knew that our president is complicit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. I recall once upon a time, I sounded a warning to my president. And I was like, I may sound like your renegade son, sir, but eventually you'll see the truth in what I'm saying. If you don't tackle those bandits, they will be your albatross. The same way Boko Haram was Jonathan's albatross.
Let me clarify complicit. I think people need to understand that. I don't think you mean that he took part in what happened or whatever, but that is negligence. It could be regarded as complicit. Is that what you mean?
He's aloof.
Aloof, yes, okay. So I have a clear understanding of what you're saying.
He's aloof.
Just
because I tell you something. today, Malam Nasiru El Rufai is at his wit's end.
Oh, yes.
I have direct access to him. I have direct access to Samuel Arwan. We speak, we communicate regularly. Okay, I've been involved. I've been following this thing right from when the first incident happened, which was the aircraft incident. Now, I tell you, if you were to count 3 or 5 anointed sons of President Muhammadu Buhari,
Yes.
Malam Nasiru El Rufai is one.
One.
But this morning, if you check the papers this morning,
Yes. Let me read the papers so people.
He's already.
It says here in the Nation.
Yes.
El Rufai, Northwest states may hire mercenaries to fight terrorists.
What does
And
it
it
tell
says
you?
Governor meets Buhari, says terrorist plan is to take over Nigeria. And it says explosive discovered again near Kaduna train station, 3 killed and 20 abducted in fresh attack. Now, in another paper, in the Daily Trust,
Yes.
which is the voice of the North,
Yes.
it says that we'll bring in foreign mercenaries if federal government fails to end terrorism. How terrorists push Kaduna to the edge, residents jittery, road, rail, air transportation threatened, economic activity slowed down, another bomb found in Kaduna. I mean, so terrorists killed 1,545 in Kaduna, Zamfara, Niger, and others in 90 days. Tension in Kaduna as police defused second bomb in 24 hours, and so on and so forth. So, yes, you do have that. Yes.
You can see people are at their wits' end with our commander-in-chief. I recall Rotimi Amechi also sounded something like what El Rufai is just doing now. And he said, listen, we offered to buy something that was X much to protect X 200 much.
200, yes.
And we were not able to. So people seem.
Well, yesterday there was a leak that showed that what Amechi presented wasn't tidy.
Yes, we
Yes,
understand
but-
that bill was quite cumbersome.
Yes.
For that cost. We've done a cost analysis around it. People have gone on the website to find out that excuse me,
Sorry.
the integrated security monitoring system they wanted to bring in, that it's overpriced, yes. But for a minister on your cabinet to come out and say, you know what, this is what should have been spent earlier
Yes.
to avert damage of this much.
Yes.
We're only talking about physical damage. We're not talking about collateral damage. We're not talking about the people who died. We're not talking about the extended effects of their death on the wider community of their loved ones. We're not talking about the middle and the long-term effects of the deaths we've had. Okay? Just looking at the immediate
Yes.
losses. This much was lost. And this much should have been spent a long time ago to have averted this much. There are 2 possibilities. Amechi is either trying to tell us what they usually do when the chips are down. Oh, my hands were tied. Or he's trying to say, you know what, I'm tired of being tired of this man. So when you get tired to the 3rd degree, some people say they are tired of being like this, and some people say we are even tired of being tired of being
You
like
think
this.
he's ready to leave?
Well, whether he's ready to leave or not will be another day's story, Uncle Jimmy. But what we know at this moment right now is that there is more between our president and these bandits than even probably his service chiefs and cabinets know.
What could it be? Could it be? It can't be sympathetic to their cause.
If you remember, there was a time I spoke here with you and I was talking about that elder at a social gathering whom a young maiden girl decides to call by his first name. You know, when that happens, you know that something has been happening behind the door.
Yeah, because you see, what he's saying at first whatever sounds far-fetched, but when you look at, like you rightly said, El Rufai's his disposition towards the president and the perceived closeness, for him to have thought this out to say that, look, we're going to bring in mercenaries. If the federal and how is it bluffing? Is it a threat? Okay, now how does he bring in mercenaries even without the approval of the federal authorities? Remember, the mercenaries are going to come with arms, are going to come with this and that. So what exactly is going on? Is the center holding?
The center seems to be thawing. The center seems to be caving in. And for those who have loved ones, for those, don't forget, Malam Nasir El-Rufai has a state to govern.
Yes.
And Malam Nasir, excuse me, Malam Nasir El-Rufai has done a lot. If you go to Kaduna, you understand. Even the president went to Kaduna and said he couldn't find his way back to his own home because everything had changed. Then you now see some rodents. In fact, apologies to rodents. If you call these bandits rodents, you are even insulting rodents. They are coming and putting all those things back out of service one by one. And what you get are verbiages.
Let me ask you what would appear like a dumb question, but I'll ask all the same, just for doubting Thomases. Is this a Kaduna affair or is it northern Nigeria affair?
It's neither a Kaduna affair nor a northern Nigeria affair.
Okay.
It's a national security
affair.
Okay affair. Let me tell you, let me stretch our minds a bit. Kano State, Jigawa State.
Yes.
They are APC states, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So why are the bandits not there? Border proximity-wise, are they not closer to the so-called countries where these people coming from?
So we admit in the first instance that they are foreigners.
One. And next, Governor Ganduje has once, through his able chief security officer, who is also a colleague of mine, a retired military intelligence officer, sounded a note of warning to anyone, and dared those rascals to enter his state. And the reason why that has not been the case, they have not entered the state, is because Ganduje particularly said, if you dare it, if you come to my state, then you will see exactly what ruthless resistance means.
So what is he, or what could he be doing that El-Rufai is not doing?
That's what El-Rufai is about to start doing. Because
so do you think Ganduje
clearly made it clear that he will defy anyone, regardless whether we're in the same party, to protect his state. And let me tell you something. Was it not on Monday? I was sitting on one of our visual media channels. I made it clear that morning that if I was NSC, I will deal very ruthlessly. Permit me to use the word ruthlessly. Yes, we've gone past, all
the finesse and yes.
I will deal ruthlessly with these bandits. I will visit the same fear they put on my people back on them with no apologies to pacifists and humanists. I received flack for saying that from those who get stomach ache when Captain Blade starts talking. When Captain Blade points to the truth, but somehow the truth informs their ineptitude. And boom, that evening, the rail track bombings happened. So people started calling back again, are you a prophet? I said, no. I never knew this would happen, but I had already had it up to, because I'm a Kaduna boy now. Yes, so I'm a Kaduna boy. There's no denying it. If for nothing at all, we were all trained in Kaduna as cadets.
Yes.
So all those areas they are talking about, Afaka, Birnin, Gwari, we played there. We trained there as cadets. So there are grounds that we know.
So what do you think that a frustrated El-Rufai should do? Do you think that he should make good his threat to bring in mercenaries?
Well,
how would he do it anyway?
Well, if you say how would he do it, how did whoever brought these mercenaries now that are eating us up do it?
Or you believe somebody brought these people?
These people are just a deal gone awry. They are a deal gone awry. I mean, they didn't just follow cows to believe. All of that is part of the story. They're just a deal gone awry. So that is just it. The truth is best known to our commander-in-chief, and as I told you, because there is a conspiracy of silence between him and these people, they do what they like and dare him to come out and do anything to them because they will.
Do you
start speaking.
honestly think that our CNC could be blackmailed?
Uncle Jimmy, even if you are purple-mailed, not only blackmailed, is there anything wrong in coming out to say, listen, I'm being blackmailed? Is there anything wrong in doing that?
Well, I
have seen people, for crying out loud, who were blackmailed on social media, and they came out and said, you didn't even get the facts right. This is exactly
what happened. Yes.
So I mean,
they call you out.
Yes, let me correct you, sir. You didn't even use this your blackmail.
Like one senator went to bed with two babes, and they filmed it.
Yes.
I wanted to blackmail him, and he said, "Look at these people."
So when we are not promoting that, blackmail itself is not. It shouldn't be as if because you've been blackmailed there is no way out. You can come out and say, you know what? I mean, the heavens won't fall. The sun will still rise from the east and set in the west.
So So what has happened now? Another bomb discovered. We can safely say, and I'd like to be corrected because I don't know anything about these things. You do. That as a first whatever, Kaduna is under serious attack, and if care is not taken, the state could be overrun. Is that possible?
Yeah, Kaduna is besieged, yes. Kaduna is besieged because I tell you for a fact that my younger sister had a child yesterday.
Yes.
You know,
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But we didn't go to hospital.
She couldn't go to the hospital?
We are afraid. I was here on phoning because me too. Me too. I cannot start going.
Go to Kaduna?
Everybody, of course, I would have loved to.
By the way, can you get to Kaduna now?
Well, it depends on maybe you are going to go to Kaduna underground. Maybe
because you can't go by air.
No.
You can't go by rail.
Fare, no.
You can't go by road.
No. So that's
isolated.
How do you define a siege? If you know what a siege means.
Well,
the town is besieged.
Yesterday also it was reported in the papers that some towns very close to Abuja were under siege. Yeah, they were attacked yesterday. Do you think that these guys might make a bold attempt at the center?
Well, see, let's go back in time quickly.
Yes.
One day, the DSS found hundreds of men on bikes with pots and pans moving in Abuja. Do you recall?
Yes.
And when they were tracked, Abuja citizens were alarmed. And when they were tracked, we were told that no, they were just people who were relocating. That they were relocating to where? Pots and pans, but no women and children. Who uses the pots and pans? The men. Immediately, I sounded a note of warning to my state, the governor, and his Niger State, and his security advisor. I said, my good friend, sir, Your Excellency, you have guests. You have guests. And where did they end up? Shiroro Dam. Oh, yes.
What do you mean they ended up in Shiroro
Those
Dam?
guys that they claimed were relocating, God knows relocating to where,
yes.
They were bandits. They ended up at Shiroro Dam. And I still called my governor again. I said the only reason why they will want to sit at Shiroro Dam is for two reasons. It's a critical infrastructure. They may want to hold it and hold us to ransom or even poison it because nothing is beyond them. And two, they may be siting a camp. And one thing you will always never control is water. If you want a camp where you are going to keep a lot of people, then you must put it to the...
You know what you're saying is frightening. And I'm not raising an undue alarm. People might think, oh, there he goes again. Just comment, whatever. But do you see any correlation between that and the sudden invasion of Lagos also by so-called Okada riders? Does that bother you?
That should bother all of us. Because I tell you something about... insecurity. It's like an ill wind. It doesn't blow anyone any good. Once upon a time, a small town called Ukraine was having peace. Suddenly today there is war there, but it's reverberating where? All over the planet.
The planet.
Today it's not different. with Nigeria. When this kind of thing happens, a lot of people are going to run away from ground zero. Running away from ground zero means you're going to have an inflow of people, all directions. Let me share a document with you. Failed State 2030 is a document I read like 2017 or 18 or so, thereabouts. Go read Failed State 2030. Failed State 2030 is a document which actually was brought about when the Commander-in-Chief of the United States called some retired Air Force generals and said the way Nigeria is going. Remember, Hillary Clinton said Nigeria will be a failed state by 2019.
Yes.
David Mark was Senate President. He forbade that. We are better and wiser now. We know better. Today, 2030, these generals were tasked, Air Force generals. They wrote, if Nigeria fails, what can we expect? What should we do? And they advised their president. Now, if you go to that document, there are 6 hallmarks of a failed state, 6 harbingers of a failed state that was listed there. We have certified every single one of them. So what exactly are we talking about today?
Okay, I got to take a break, Happy. I'll take a short break. When we come back, you see, I have a funny feeling we're going to extend this till Tuesday. Definitely.
Inshallah.
Yes, we'll extend it till Tuesday. So just calm down. Everybody should just calm down. We'll have the time between now and Tuesday to take all your calls. We'll open up the lines as soon as we come back. We'll take a short break. Don't go away.
Sam Baby here, and as usual, I've got great news for you. Now, I'm sure you've heard about it. How could you not? It's been buzzing all over the place. Everyone is super excited to hear that Praise Jam is back this Easter. Come next month on the 18th with the resurrection. You know how it goes. Everybody knows that Easter is meant to be a symbol of hope, despite the fact that we've had quite the year so far. Why don't you come around and let's have a time of renewal? Let's jump into an atmosphere of praise and completely immerse ourselves in God's goodness with the very best of Nigerian gospel music, with the very best of Nigerian gospel musicians. This Easter's edition will feature the likes of Tim Godfrey, Tokpe Alabi, Eben, Mike Abdul, PJ Sachs, Mercy Chinwo, Ima Oh My God, Apororo, and it will be hosted by Kenny Black. Now, there are tickets to be given away every day, so you gotta keep it locked on your number 1 hit music station to find out. After every performance at the event itself, a random ticket number would be called, and the lucky person will get a chance to play in the Cool Money Machine live on stage for a chance to win up to 1 million naira. And it doesn't stop there. There will also be lots of freebies, photo sessions, games for the kids, family, and so much more. The time is 12 noon and the venue is the Eco Convention Center, so grab your tickets at all tasty fried chicken outlets, Chocolate Royale, at the venue, or online at coolfm.ng and ariatickets.com for 5,000 and 10,000 naira. But hey, why wait in line when you can beat the queue and get your regular early bird tickets at 3,000 naira? The early bird gets the worm, but you can get the discount if you buy online right now. Praise Jam, the resurrection, starts at 12 noon on Easter Monday, and it happens to be a public holiday, so you have no excuse not to be there. Come, let's celebrate life and the true meaning of this holiday with you and your loved ones. Of course, this event is certified by the Lagos State Safety Commission.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Mini noodles, taste the fun. Mini noodles, I really love it so. It's tasty and yummy, tasty and yummy. Taste the fun, taste the fun. Call all your friends now, call all your friends now. Enjoy your mini noodles, mini noodles. Taste the fun, mini noodles. I really love it so.
proud of the doctor I've become. I'm grateful to a lot of people, but especially for basketball and the grit I built as I learned the sport. The rejections taught me to keep fighting. The long hours taught me discipline. Knockdowns taught me to bounce back. And those unexpected victories that taught me never to give up.
Nourish and energize your kids with Milo Active Go to help them succeed in sports, because the great they learn in sports, they keep for life. Milo, energy to go further.
At ShopRite, we're making it possible to celebrate a low-price family Easter. Feast on your favorites and get great deals when you buy Dano 350-gram milk and Ovaltine 400-gram beverage at 3,099 naira 99 kobo, and 6 Malta Guinness 330 ml bottles at 999 naira 99 kobo. Save big this Easter only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always. Prices valid till the 3rd of April 2022.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
And now, we are back on the Discourse with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, welcome back to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, and I still have Captain Blade here. And of course, the good news is that we're not going to finish today. We'll continue on Tuesday next week. Okay? So we have a whole, don't worry, we're going to be very, very thorough and give most people an opportunity to express themselves. I'll take my first caller of the day. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Morning.
This is Malik speaking.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
Captain Blake, morning, sir.
Good morning, Malik.
Captain Blake, please, in your own view, are you not sure that the DSS and the army have been compromised? Because if information has been given to them according to Malam El Rufai and they refuse to act, don't you think there's something fishy? DSS stable? Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talking about compromise, we actually had that conversation some days ago, and my response is this. If the DSS has been compromised, definitely not on the boots on ground level. If the army has also been compromised, not at the boots on ground level, maybe higher up, maybe strategically, but certainly not tactically, because
sorry, go on. Yes.
those boys who are walking on the field and dying, they are not pretending. They are catching bullets from these bandits with their heads and their chests. They are having widows and fatherless children. So I don't think compromise will reach a stage where I will go and die because I've been compromised.
But what do you think is the morale of the lower ranks?
The morale of the lower ranks, as I speak to you, is nothing to write home about. If you doubt me, I'll pull them in. There are avenues to do that. I'll pull them in right now. You hear from them. They send us texts. They send us a lot of information.
Yeah, videos.
Videos.
Yeah.
So some go viral. Let's just face it. We have a situation, and our commander-in-chief is actually the one to look up to now and say exactly what is going on. Don't forget.
When we talk about the morale, does it have to do with equipment? Does it have to do with policy? Does it have to do with personnel? Do they look up to their commanders? And do you think the lower ranks think that, there could be compromise at the top? Why waste my life at this level? What do you think it is?
Let me tell you something about the soldier. The soldier knows his brief thoroughly. The soldier knows his rule of engagements like the back of his hand. That pointsman soldier who is in the trenches, he is so used to dying. Death is a way of life. Yes, they've been taught to manage it, live with it. Okay? So when it comes to that, have no doubt that the Nigerian soldier is long suffering. What I mean by long suffering, the Nigerian soldier has very resilient capabilities, and the DSS I have seen also do.
Yes.
Time was when the DSS used to engage, permit my use of the word, all due respect to our female gender, prostitutes. to go right into those camps and bring information.
Oh, yes. I mean, happens all over the world.
Beautiful. Today, as I speak to you, the DSS is not out of men who are sworn to doing these jobs. But then, if you look at the way it is going, it will not be wrong to say, even within the ranks, at the strategic level, there are people who may be driving a counter narrative. You can call them fifth columnists, if you like.
Well, if we look at the number of generals that you have on trial, for corrupt practices, that's an indicator. Because a corrupt commander is already compromised.
The situation has become such that you wouldn't even be wrong if you begin to say the operations have now become a cash cow.
Yeah.
I won't even want to elaborate on that aspect of things anymore. But believe you me, there is no shortage of indicators to show you that things are happening in such a way that everybody is exploiting what they can make of this situation while they can. And that is what informs the frustration of Malan Nasiru El-Rufai at the moment. And he is saying, you know what? Look, this is not different from the same thing Baba Gana Zulum went through. There was a time Baba Gana Zulum said, you know what? I'm going to go in there myself if I cannot get people to come with me. We are not seeing any, we are not seeing any presence here, but there is Mangala fish. And we know the billions that involve the movement of Mangala fish from Mangala, where it is being done, from what do you call it? What's the name of this town where it is being done? Gambolungala.
Okay. Do you think that we should be looking at a spread immediately? Meaning, could it spread over to either Katsina or any other state? Do you think that might happen? Or it will be contained within Kaduna itself?
The best thing I want to do is all contiguous, non-contiguous governors and their security advisors shouldn't actually go to bed thinking that there is
all is well.
The wind can blow the smoke to the fire in any direction, and that smoke can blind you and choke you.
At this rate, El-Rufai's life itself is at risk because they could attack the government house.
Anywhere.
You saw it happen in Bayelsa.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Anywhere. You see, that's why when we advise people, you have to be vigilant. You have to be very vigilant. And other than being very vigilant, thankfully, mercifully, there is that device in your hand called a phone. So we can communicate. Can communicate.
The one of the things that also catches my attention is the use of motorcycles. I'm saying and I'm thinking, if you took out motorcycles from transportation at a particular level, wouldn't that be a safe move?
Yes.
Sorry, Kapi, 1 second. Every time I get up in Sul area and I get to stadium, every time I have to come through a relay, and I see this horde of people that, to put it politely, don't look to me like my fellow Nigerians, and I see them riding Okada. Yes, all with them. I get a feeling of an army in waiting, even in Lagos.
Waiting to be sprung into action.
Waiting to be sprung into action. Is that a possibility, or have I read too many novels?
No, you haven't read too many novels. You see, one thing about the way security and intelligence operations work is, if it can pass through your mind, then it can pass through the minds of as many other people that are human like you. Okay? And if it can pass through all those minds, then it means it is worth you taking note of it.
Yes.
In my own small corner, I have seen irrelevant, seemingly useless indicators start blinking red overnight.
Wow.
At my consults, a man walks into this building and walks out. One short, scraggy, thin man. 2 weeks later, something happens at the end of this street, and I start running back. I wake up in the night and put my systems back on. That man. What was it about him? He starts blinking red. So those people you think are seemingly harmless could become anything tomorrow, anything whatsoever. And that's why we say we cannot afford to sleep with both eyes open. And where we must sleep with both eyes open, we must have virtual eyes. The intelligence community cannot afford to blink. It must be awake 24/7 eternally. That's where we are now.
Well, in also talking about the spread, there's a general feeling, everybody wants some feeling that will make him feel safe, that this thing is and will remain a northern affair. Do you think it can spread to other parts of Nigeria?
Of course, we can only be as safe as we make ourselves. Yes, you can only be as safe as you make yourself. Let's be a bit more realistic now. Let's face it. This idea of the days when you could lie down and sleep trusting in God to defend you. No. God will work with those who help themselves. He has said it. Heaven helps those who help themselves. So it's no longer that period anymore. Because as I told you, it's not only about bandits. It's not only about terrorists. There are other people who jump on the bus. Okay? To ride, they exploit the status quo to do the things they will. Let me give you an example now. We were talking about these bandits and their modus operandi. Do you know that the bandits stay in forests, right? In forests, we don't have electricity now.
Yes.
So what do you think they use is torchlights. So those who will jump on that bus will sell. You know how many bandits and how many batteries, the torchlight and battery implications of torchlights. One, they like using motorcycles. What's the name of that thing that they used to use when I want to patch my tire? There is one thing they will rub.
I think it's around that.
It's super glue or something and then there's something like a plaster. That plaster you use in hospital.
Yes.
They plaster the tire and patch it for you. You think 200 motorcycles at the least. There is no wear and tear. There is no patching. The roads in the forest are not tarred. If I can get punctures on the streets of Lagos. So those are the issues. You see, these things create their own economies. And if you really want to get to the bottom of it, you follow the money trail.
And also, El-Rufai raised the point that set me thinking, and that has to do with the role of the Air Force in all this. That I think he expressed frustration at the fact that why can't the Air Force? He said, to quote him, what I saw on channel, he said, we know where they are.
One.
We even monitor their telephone calls.
Two.
So why can't the Air Force just go in there and blast them to high heavens and throw them out of the way?
I'm as much baffled too. All you need to do is, like when I was discussing with one of my colleagues in Niger State, I was like, it's simple. Identify where these people are and then do a build-up, a quiet build-up. We will not share this, how these things will be done publicly like this, because they also listen to radio.
Yeah, probably listen to us.
Yes, now. And while the Air Force is doing what they need to do, the ground forces are moving in and helping take whoever is, not properly done with out. That is it.
Well, maybe the regular excuse that you would hear is that they have hostages, like those who were kidnapped during the train incident might be with them.
The issue.
So, what a military decision would it just make it collateral? And
the issue of hostages has always been one that I have told that is one bullet we have to bite. You see, Malam El-Rufai has said something, and what he said was key. If we do not lock horns with these guys, they won't stop. Yes, they have hostages within their ranks. They've taken people. I understand that. But let me take you back to a certain country who gave asylum or gave citizenship to some cranks, and those ones went and sat down there and wanted to now decide to start practicing extremism. And they went and took a cinema hall. And the leader of that country, incidentally, is the Iron Man of the Russian-Ukrainian war. He told his forces, go there and wipe them out. And if we lose citizens, we will give our citizens a national heroes burial. In fact, at a point, people were cracking jokes that those who survived, their family members were even saying, you should have died now so that we will be able to receive the BEM that federal government was installing on each family. There are times that we just have to pay a costly price for that which we refuse to heed early
or else
in the
we'll have
day.
more.
Or else we'll keep having more. We'll keep having more. It's not only our soldiers that need cenotaph in Abuja now, in Karamajiji, where you write all their names. There are people who have died at the forefront of this struggle, either as victims or as buffers or as shields or as collaterals. Exactly. When you start making it so expensive for that bandit to work, and you make it very lucrative for any family who loses any soul, you will find out that when the bandits discover that taking hostages only makes billionaires of the extended family of these hostages and heroes, you take the sting out of this thing about taking hostages and using them as
So you
shields.
think, just in case our listeners missed it, you think that there should be nothing stopping the Air Force from going in
Go
and routing
in,
them,
listen,
whether they
if
have hostages
I
or
wish
not?
I was a troop commander. I will do what I have to do, then take myself to the International Court of Justice when I'm done to be tried. Take no prisoners. Take no prisoners. We've gone beyond that, Uncle Jimmy. We don't pass that stage. I have no apologies for pacifists, for those who say they should try them and put them in jail so that my tax money will be feeding them again. No. We don't have anywhere for them on our. Nigeria has to become a cemetery for this kind of people.
Wow. Our lines are buzzing. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Please, take another call. Please, when you call from a quiet background, okay, and switch off the radio where you are.
Hello?
So that we can hear you
Good
clearly.
morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, man. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Pastor Ladipo calling
sorry.
from Orilegom.
Pastor, sorry, please go on.
So, my take, I want to ask Captain Blaze,
Yes.
please, what do you make of those so-called repentant Boko Haram? Are they not also informants to these same bandits that are ravaging? Because we keep having repentant 200 and something coming back to the society. What about the families that have lost people? Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Okay.
Me, I don't understand what that repentant means. Let me tell you why. Boko Haram itself will pass a death sentence on any of their boys that is repentant. Then you take that boy and there is no barometer or no gauge to actually know whether he is truly repentant or he is just pretending to be repentant. Then you now want to reabsorb him. After reabsorbing him, you want to reintegrate him. After reintegrating him, you want to rehabilitate him. Then bring him back to the community where he performed atrocious acts. I don't know how that will work.
Well, I'll tell you how that is perceived by some people. We tend to believe that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a soldier, but that in war, sometimes you have your POWs are treated so nice to demoralize the rest of the troops. So could we say that, okay, this is done to demoralize other members of the Boko Haram, that if you repent, you might have a better life, and so on and so forth? Does that strategy work in real terms?
Yes, there are times when that works.
Okay.
Where you bring in people and you put them through a process, and those recalcitrants actually become ambassadors.
Yes.
That will go back into their camps.
Yes.
And bring more in. Now, here is the divergence. This is where we call the divergence point, where we the departure now, where we fail to converge. How much have you done for the families of soldiers? The ones with 1.5 limbs. How much have you done for the widows of these sons and the husbands of your own people who are still there waiting? How much have you done for their children when you want to send these electricians abroad to go and train? So if there was a balancing act both ways, one would have been able to say, okay, that's okay. You are granting amnesty to people who have performed unprintable acts. How many of your soldiers who are in court today, tomorrow, and yesterday have you given amnesty? How many? Those who served meritoriously were treated unfairly, were maltreated. Some of them have cases as far as donkey years. How many of them have you given amnesty? And you dare to now say you want to give amnesty to those who have created widows for us to care for.
Is this a subject of discussion among the rank and file of the...
Everywhere. Try service. There are many like that. So that is where the crisis lies. That is where the crisis lies. If you ask the defense minister today, he will tell you better. How many times do you see veterans carrying placards who have not even been resettled, talk less or even paid, and you want to resettle who? So that is what we're talking about. These are the departure points. If you were resettling people and rehabilitating them properly, and those who have fought and stood and lost limbs and eyes and hands for this country have also been rehabilitated and resettled properly.
Likewise.
Then you would have said there is a balance. That's why I said our commander-in-chief has to tell us what is this thing that is between... In fact, let me tell you something, Uncle Jimmy. I make bold to say, going forward, when a man comes to you and gives you a bag of rice for votes, we agree he's trying to steal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if a man stands in the Senate building today trying to canvass for rehabilitation, what for bandits? You are looking at the benefactors and grand patron now. Yes, whichever way
this
it goes.
Is, my Twitter handle is, okay, good morning, Uncle JD. This is Olatunji. I will not read any tweet that doesn't have an original name. I'm tired of these pen names. You must be bold enough to make a statement in public. So, Olatunji Steve says that, is it not possible that the guy in charge of transportation who's interested in bomb detection contract is more complicit? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Florence Issa says that, why are we being published with people like this, God? Please have mercy on us. Michael says that, can't the heads of these enforcement agencies resign since they are aloof of all this happening? And he says, is there any conspiracy about the death of the immediate chief of army staff? Mohammed Tajuddin Adiu says that we are talking of attacks on Kaduna today. Listen to this one, Kapi. He says, but what may likely happen to Lagos and Ogun States may be worse than that. Those Okada riders, truck pushers, and the scavengers you see are potential terrorists that can strike at any time.
That's what I was saying, that anybody can become anything overnight. I have seen people who take 5,000 naira to protest. Some even hold the placard upside down. They don't even know what they are protesting about. Anybody can become anything. It doesn't have to be bandits or terrorists. You understand what I'm saying? Let me give you an example of what I mean. Once upon a time, in this Lagos, the Lekki Epe axis was notorious for kidnaps of children.
Yes.
And that time, there was a very unfortunate ethnic group that people tended to want to accuse of doing it. So it almost caused a clash between that ethnic group and Yorubas in Lagos. Because they felt that it was them, because they lived by the riverine areas.
Yes.
But that is what I'm saying, that people will come and pretend, the hand of Esau, the voice of Jacob. That is it. So even these men that you are seeing, that you see sitting down here, and they look like people from Nigeria and wherever, claiming they are from Kebbi State in the north.
Yes.
There are also others that could be indigenous to Lagos that will just carry their bikes and perpetrate crimes in that mode.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And allow them to take the hit.
Well, one of the best disguises for stealing and whatever is to dress like it's to
exactly. Exactly.
Let's take one or two more calls, then we'll continue on Tuesday. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Captain Black, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Mr. Frank. I'm calling from Odella. My question is very, very small. Last 2 weeks, Rotimi Amechi says that the Buhari is the best president Nigeria have ever produced. On Monday or Tuesday morning, he said that there was no attack in the airport. Later, he said that it was only 2 people that was injured in the train. What do you have to say about all this? Thank you.
I really do not have anything to say about it. And the reason is simple. Let that which is seen override what is heard. Most of the time, when you say something, you may not have seen what is on ground. I recall immediately that train, that bomb blast went off that evening. I called the newsroom and I placed a cautionary statement to the person. I said, listen, reach out to your correspondents in Kaduna. Something is happening there.
Yes.
But I had already gotten wind of it immediately it happened. Somebody inside that coach sent me an SOS. So I couldn't, because you just don't hear something these days and jump.
Yes.
I said, okay. So I sent to those who are newsmen. They are the ones who know how to sniff news. I called the newsroom. I said, listen, reach out to your correspondents in Kaduna. Find out what exactly is happening in Kaduna right now.
Okay.
And that was how we were able to confirm.
Okay, this is where we have to draw the curtains for today. We will be back on Tuesday on the Morning Digest, 9 o'clock, to conclude this discussion. I'd like to thank you, Kapi, for ever being ready, to educate more than entertain our audience. Well, you've heard all what has been said. We'll take more of your responses on Tuesday when we do come at 9 o'clock. And, of course, on Wednesday, the famous Jabumi. And this time next week, all of you know the Gbemu that will be happening. To use Chris's word, why are you dancing? Why are you dancing? Do you have my present nearby? I wear a 2XL t-shirt, make sure. And I don't wear ordinary this, must be. And no fake. Okay, no fake. Well, talking of fake, very quickly, be very careful of what you buy online. I recently bought a perfume gift for somebody. It turned out to be fake. I didn't know that. I got it on Instagram. One of these, so all these perfumes, whatever, on Instagram. If I were you, I'd stay away from them. Kapi, we got to go. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks.
Same here.
And for our Muslim brothers and sisters, Ramadan Kareem. No, Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. We'll see you all on Tuesday. Bye.
This is an infomercial.
Velvet Sandpaper here, and as usual, I've got great news for you. Now, I'm sure you've heard about it. How could you not? It's been buzzing all over the place. Everyone is super excited to hear that Praise Jam is back this East.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.